Good morning. Merry Christmas Eve. Boy, the year went by fast. Fast year, fast year. Good morning. I'm over here playing the glockenspiel. Anybody ever know? Who knows how to play the glockenspiel? Pops. Pops is playing the glockenspiel. And the xylophone with my other hand. No problem, RX. You take your time on that, brother. I'm doing the glockenspiel and the xylophone. Each hand. I'm glockenspielen. Spielen Glocken. I wonder if that's German. Glockenspiel. Perhaps it's Austrian. Bavarian. Happy birthday, Exception. I heard Pop Croons was going to be Santa Croons. Santa Croons was going to be in the house later. We'll see. I don't know. He mentioned that he was going to be stopping by somebody important's birthday. What do you think, RX? You think those are that's the biscuits I'm going to be having for Christmas dinner. Those are the biscuits we're having for Christmas dinner. They actually look sort of like a chicken pot pie. Looks sort of like a chicken pot pie, especially this one right here. We're going to give those away here today. Okay, let's get these out of here later. Sacramental. It does look hosty too. Aren't they awesome though? These things were really big before we dehydrated them. They were like really big. Oh, good morning, Laura. You know what the gravy is, you guys? That's the gravy. Boop. Blue gravy. Whoa! Slow down, Santa. Thank you, Mr. Nash. Slow down, Santa. You're out of line, Santa. Okay, I want to show you guys a real quick video, and then we're going to get started. The music's loud this morning. Yes, I love that. Those are two blue biscuits. They're blue biscuits. It's actually, this is what I pictured when I was reading the Bible one day, and they said manna came down from heaven in the morning. Boop, there it was. I think they looked just like these. Okay. Okay. Wait for it. Wait for it. I think Niframama sent us this. And is there something wrong with my... Give me a second. I feel like this is foggy. Anyways. Nope, that's not the one. Might have come from Kim. There you go. Look at this guy. Look at Desperado. Yeah. Going the wrong way, buddy. Come on, come on. Oh no, he's a cat. Oh, look, gotcha. That one's easy. This one's doing a third floor window. Hello, hello. It's so ridiculous. Look at him, got it. Okay. I'm gonna show you one more. Oh, dear goodness. Thank you, Niffy. No, Kim or Niffy, one of the two. You guys are hilarious. Wait for this one. One more. Now we're gonna go to a slightly different creature. We're gonna go to an equally entertaining but slightly different creature. The enemy of the one we just saw.
What do you say? Shut up! Wow. Good girl.
Good girl. Oh.
You got open. Hi. What's wrong? Huh?
No. Good morning. Merry Christmas Eve.
What do you say?
Matt Gateshead. Good morning. I'm so grateful to be here and not be in bed with a migraine. Good morning, my friends. Good morning. Birds. I love birds. I love birds. I love birds. It reminded me, Nipper sent me that video and she said she and Ava, her little girl, enjoy those videos together. I think birds are super cool. Super cool. They're not as smart. They're bird brains. They're not that smart. They learn a pattern. I'll tell you, when I was 50, brother-in-law owned a pet store. I think I've told you guys this before. An old school pet store, literally the oldest pet store feed store in Los Angeles County. And he had bought it years earlier. And I invested a little bit of money in with him, and I used to go there and work all the time when I wasn't doing something else, because I liked hanging around with the birds and the chickens and creating little egg programs for the school kids and stuff like that. And I remember I had a birdsy, and it was a rescue bird. Somebody brought it in. It was a cockatiel. It was the saddest thing because the poor girl, she couldn't open her feet. Some mean, who knows, somebody had, you could tell probably with a lighter or matches or something, had burned the bottom of this little girl's feet, this bird. Well, can you imagine being a bird? This is a true story. And can you imagine being a bird and you can't open your claws? It was so sad. And so I would carry her and set her down places. And then every day, a couple of times a day, she'd have therapy, and we would open up her leg, or I would exercise and crack the scabs, and I'd have a Q-tip, and I'd put a salving oil on the bottom of her feet. And it took about half a year for her to be able to grab a perch and hang on. It was incredibly rewarding because you could ask Miss Rose. She was around at the time. She still is but she was there, and that bird loved me so much. She would just be a regular bird, but as soon as she saw Pop's, Rose used to say it was my silver hair. I don't know. But as soon as she saw Pops come in, she would start running back and forth on her perch. Just hey, 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 squeaky noises, she would make all kinds of noises until I went over and I picked her up. So I don't think she started out hand tamed, but we got her hand tamed, and she lived a good long life. And I thought, this final part of the story, I thought she was old. I thought, because I had her for about 5 years myself. And I thought, this old girl, I don't know how old she was when I got her, but you could tell she was already a little bit of an older bird. I don't know why I'm telling this story. That video just warms me up to my old birds. Anyways, one morning, and she didn't live in a cage, by the way. I had a manzanita bush in the corner with a big tray with all kinds of kitty litter down below to catch her droppings. But she lived in a bush in the corner, like a dry twig bush in the corner. She didn't live inside a cage. So she was like out in the open, and she could do whatever she wanted, but she didn't fly either. So she would just climb around on her twigs. And anyways, one day, what did I find down at the bottom of her tray? An egg. An egg. I'm like, there is no way. This girl, and of course couldn't have been fertile, but there is no way in the world that this old girl, she's got to be 7, 8 something years old. She should have been gone by now, because small birds like that don't live forever. Anyways, I found an egg. So she kind of like in her last year or so, she found her fountain of youth. Youths. Thank you for letting me share that story. It's a cute story. Birdsy. That was little Birdsy. Good morning, Damer. So that was little Birdsy. Let's, I'm going to do giveaways. Okay? Kyle. Kyle, you know what I'm having for Christmas dinner, right? Biscuits? We're having some biscuits. Okay? Good morning. I want to give a bunch of stuff away today. I was going to give Secret Santa list, but I forgot to print it and bring it over here this morning. So we'll do that Thursday. Thursday, I'll do a Secret Santa list giveaway. If you're on the Secret Santa list, I think you have to be on just about by now. And Niffy's probably told you who your person is. Niffy, do I know who my person is? Send me a text. Remind me who my person is. And anybody that is on the list that wants to receive, make sure I get their number too. Okay? Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's do it. Let's give away an 1/8 of supplementary supplements right now. You can only Do it one time until everybody does it. But go ahead and give me a number between 1 and 50, up to 3 numbers on one line at one time. Go. 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 3 numbers at one time. But you can only do one line, and then you have to wait and let everybody else get one in. Okay, give me 3 numbers one time. Does that make sense? 3 numbers one time. I'm still looking for the number on my screen. I haven't seen it yet. Vegas, that looks like the combination to your locker. Give me 3 numbers on one line. And I'll tell you when. Exception! Are you kidding me? Happy birthday, Exception. Exception. It's exceptional. She said 45. And by golly, by gum, it's a 45. Exception. You know what, Exception? I was going to send you something anyways. So now what? I'll just add it to the pile. Okay? Happy birthday. She's exceptional. Happy birthday. My couch is a sectional. I can't find another word to rhyme with exception, but I know she could come to the reception. Exceptional. So Exception, happy birthday. I will need an address, dear, because I think I have deleted the last customer database situational. So Exception. Now we're going to have to give away more stuff today. Okay? So we're going to give away the 2 biscuits, and we'll give away another supplemental. Okay? That's what we're going to do. Supplementals. Last week I left you guys high and dry, telling you halfway through the story about the CEO in Canada that retired, and he started a whole retreat, and he spent the last 9 years creating a situation where other CEOs can go and have a relaxing, they call it a retreat, I call it an advance. But they can really get back in touch with themselves and maybe open themselves up as a CEO and be a more valuable leader to their organization. So I haven't forgotten. We're going to finish that story here this morning. Okay, we were about halfway through. Everybody had just gone to sleep. They had taken 1 microdose the day before to sort of just get in the mood. They had gone to bed. They had eaten, woke up, they had lentil soup. Do you guys remember this? We'll pick up the story here in a few minutes. But can we test our Christmas IQ first? Can we test our Christmas IQ? Yes? Yes? Let's test our Christmas IQ. Gosh, everything's so fuzzy this morning. My glasses are... Okay. Oh, I can see again. Christmas IQ. I'm going to go through these pretty fast, and there's no reward other than reminding yourself, are you very smart? So, which state is the home to the town of Snowflake? Snowflake. What state is Snowflake? What happened? What's going on, Snowflake? Where is Snowflake? You guys are thinking it's Montana. That would have made a lot of sense. Alaska would have made sense too. You guys want to... I'll tell you the answer. Is free here? Is free here? Arizona. Trent. Trent got it. What the heck is a snowflake doing in Arizona? I thought they were about 110 degrees. Speaking of that, real quick, did you guys hear about the, I made myself a note, the sun probe? You know that probe that we've sent out to reach the sun, or to get near the sun and do some analysis of the sun's corona? It's just reached its closest point ever. the guy that was explaining it said it like this. He goes, picture the distance between Earth and the sun being the length of a football field, 100 yards, right? The probe is currently at about the 4-yard line away from the sun. Whoop, wrong one. 4 yard, it's that close. It's about 4 million miles away from the sun. It's the fastest moving space machine we've ever sent up. And it's like, are you kidding me? It's that close. And then, of course, my brain goes, how come it's not burning up? That is so close. When you're on the 4-yard line, I don't know that it's going to get a lot closer. It's going to do some probing now. But then the guy went on to explain, here's how it isn't burning up. First and goal, Higgs. I know. Here's how come it's not burning up, quote unquote. It's got water pumping through the system, the space probe, and out on the solar panels that are running the whole thing. It has water pumping through it to cool it down. Of course, I'm thinking, how come that water isn't turning into steam or whatever? But they have some kind of a whole coolant system on board that's keeping this thing cooler. And they have a 70-inch foam panel on it. 70-inch foam panel that's keeping it shielded from the sun. That's a big one. That's like big. Okay? It's basically a giant space bomb. Boom! It's a space bong. Oh, that's absolutely right. I'm gonna use that one. It's basically a space bong. Okay? Yeah, that's what it is. They say the outside temperature of the thing could be up to 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit. And inside the capsule, it's only 350 degrees. That's how come nothing's burning up. Man, is there some technology going on in this planet. Oh my God, I wish we would do more of that and less bombs. You know what I'm saying? Space bongs. Yes! That was a funny one. That's a good one. Space bong. So we're in Arizona at the snowflake. Here's another one for you. According to Hallmark, approximately how many Christmas cards are sent annually? According to Hallmark, how many do you think we're sending? More bongs, less bombs, no bombs, 0 bombs. 1.3 billion. 1.3 billion. That's a lot. Billion. 1.3 billion. According to candy manufacturer Spangler, how many candy canes? How many candy canes do they produce in a single day? Candy canes. Spangler Candy Cane Company. Now we average 2.7 million per day. Who's eating them? Really? I would say, what do you think? Maybe 4 to 5% of candy canes ever made were actually eaten? Right? What happens to the rest? They turn into some kind of a weird, old, crumbly thing inside the package. That's a lot. 2.7 million. And that's not like in a season. That's Thursday. Who even eats one? Ugh. Candy canes are made to look at. I'm not a fan of candy canes. What U.S. state is the hometown to the town of Santa Claus? There's a town called Santa Claus. What state? Santa Claus. There's a town called Santa Claus. What state's it in? If you tell me it's Alaska, see, Pacers knows his state. It's Indiana. What the heck is Indiana? What's going on in Indiana? What? They named themselves Santa Claus? Okay. What's the name of the Satan-like creature in mythology that scares and punishes naughty children during the holiday season? And it's not the Grinch. And it's not the Grinch. Oh, Paige, you guys are brilliant. You guys. It is absolutely Krampus. Not Crump, but Cramp. Krampus is out there doing all kinds of icky stuff. Krampus. That's a weird one. Why do we even have to have a Krampus in the story? Okay? I don't want a Krampus even involved. Don't scare the kids. Who invented the Christmas lights? Who invented Christmas lights? Paige, you were the first one to get it. Who invented Christmas lights? Vikings? Nerdy, of course. Of course. Why wouldn't it have been Thomas Edison? Come on. Duh. Who else? You don't come along in like 1947 and say, oh, I'm the Christmas light guy. Edison did all the work. Okay? All right. Let's do just a couple more. And then we got to go do stuff. What's the average length of time it takes? Okay, that was a pretty good one, HB. You could use that one if you want. What's the average length of time it takes? Egg said, I thought it was some company called UL. Underwriters Laboratory approved. What's the average amount of time it takes for a Christmas tree to grow to maturity? The Christmas trees that we're picking up at the Christmas tree lot. Typically about how long have they let that guy grow? Poor North Carolina, they're losing a huge 100 years, 10 years. It's not 100, no. Derek Anderson, he lives around there. 7 years, that's right, Classic. Approximately 7 years. How did you guys know that? Every one of you knew that. About 7 years. I was reading a thing in North Carolina. They still have a few to be able to get out in this season, but because of the hurricanes that have gone through there, the Christmas tree, I think they provide more Christmas trees than almost any other state, and they're wiped out. They are wiped out, and for the next decade, they have to reset, do the whole thing all over again. All their baby trees are gone. So it's going to be not that many trees available, which is just going to make the price go up on them, unfortunately. Okay, well, that was good. There's so many more to go here, but we have other things to do. Let's get back to our CEO. Yeah, Higgs, we just love to learn together. Okay? So now we have Mr. Rogers, the CEO, that is shepherding these other CEOs through this spirituality program. Okay? They're going to bed for the night, Mr. Rogers said. Who feels nervous about tomorrow? 3 hands shot up into the air. Do you guys want me to finish this story? Should I continue telling you about this? The rest of the story? I felt bad because I went down with a migraine on Friday, and I'm like, oh, I wanted to finish the story. Before I do that, let's do another giveaway. Give me a number between 1 and 50. We're going to give away a supplemental pack. Give me a number between 1 and 50. Do I have your attention? You can put up to 3 numbers on one line, but don't do it again for a while. Let everybody get a chance. Give me 3 numbers at one time on one line. Yeah, you guys are paying attention here. Good job. I'm waiting for the number. There it is. Higgs! Mr. Higgy Bump. Higgs. Higgs said 10. And by golly, by gum, it's a 10. It's a 10. First 10 I saw. Higgs. Congratulations. Supplemental supplement pack coming. Okay? So far I have Exception and Haig. We're going to do some more. I don't care what the postman says. How come there's 84 boxes in this pickup? I don't know. Higgs. An Exception. And we still have to give away the biscuits, right? We're still going to give away biscuits. All right. Mr. Rogers. Who's nervous about tomorrow? 3 hands shot into the air. Guess what's on the other side of fear? He said. Love. Love always. Anthony, you got to know about the biscuits. We're going to be giving away biscuits. Okay? Excuse me. Okay, so here we go. This is more or less the set and setting. Okay. Oh, I love this song. Glow, oh, oh, oh. At the retreat center, Mr. Rogers led the entrepreneurs in some gentle yoga and singing. As they got ready for bed, Mr. Rogers assured them that every person's journey the next day would be different. He said it. He once had a client who spent his entire trip, this is where we ended, staring at the wooden column in the center of the home. It was his grandmother, Mr. Rogers explained. We've seen some father trips. We've seen them. We've been around. The following morning, we drove to a nearby river for a silent nature walk, taking in the golden sunlight dancing on the water's surface and the flows of ice gliding downstream. Mr. Rogers reminded everyone to focus on their breath. Back at the house, 2 women who would serve as trip sitters, supervising the group, showed up. One of them, Lisa Stickle, introduced herself as an acquaintance of Mr. Rogers from his days back in the oil and gas industry. Back when the CEO was the CEO, she said, laughing. Since CEO, Mr. Rogers has rebranded the word CEO to mean conscious, empathetic, and open. The new CEO, okay? Not the creepy old CEO. Did you guys do any breath work? Mrs. Stickle asked. Nodding, Mr. Rogers replied, these guys are tuned in. Turning to address the group, he added, this is about surrendering to what's in you. This is a day off. This is Ferris Bueller's day off. The entrepreneurs began to ready their sacred spaces, the mattresses where they would spend the next 4 hours, bringing over thick, colorful blankets, Next to each mat, Mr. Rogers placed a bucket with a water bottle and toilet paper in case of tears. He then returned to a bar at the back of the room where he began to weigh mushrooms on a scale. As Mr. Rogers brewed up chamomile and fennel tea to mix with the mushrooms, he held up a pitcher and he joked, "I'm a bartender. This is what we do in the West, so leave your horse outside." Mrs. Stickle laughed, saying, "Yeah, tie up your horse real tight. We're going to be here a while." Adam, one of the entrepreneurs, said, "Can I take notes?" Mr. Rogers said, "I don't recommend it. That puts you in your mind state." Mrs. Stickle said, "If something comes up, you'll remember it." Mr. Rogers reminded the members that in the first few minutes of their trip, they might not feel anything. I know a couple of those guys. "I didn't feel anything." Gobble, gobble, more. "I'm still not, gobble, gobble." Your mind will be like, "What's going on? I don't feel anything. Why did I pay for this?" Mrs. Stickle said, "It's your ego's last-ditch effort to hold on." Mr. Rogers says, "Believe me, the switch will go on." There's little concrete knowledge yet of how or whether psychedelics affect leadership and decision-making. Since 2022, two associate business professors at the University of Maryland, Bennett Zellner and Rachel Sampson, have been observing 3 cohorts of business leaders who gathered for retreats in the Netherlands, where psilocybin truffles are legal. Some business leaders received executive coaching along with 2 psilocybin trips. Mr. Zellner and Mrs. Sampson are now collecting data on how that experience has affected the executives' professional lives. Luther Kitahaha, a coach for participants in the Netherlands retreats, said he watched someone who used to lead a bank, and now he sits on company boards, overcomes fear about public speaking. This didn't surprise him. The ego is being brought down, he explained. The ego is usually saying or thinking, "What if these people think badly of me?" The mushrooms release him from that. Robin Carhart Harris, a neuroscientist studying the effects of psychedelics, said it was possible the drugs could help leaders in the workplace. Mr. Carhart Harris, a professor at the University of California, San Francisco, examines people's brains on drugs. His brain scan shows that psychedelics increase entropy, where the brain usually tries to helpfully compress information. These drugs have the opposite effect, which he argues could shake up new thinking in the knotty challenges of leadership. The former chief operating officer of Masterclass, Mark Williamson, has done 20 guided trips since 2020, which he says have yielded professional epiphanies. He started prioritizing mentorship, and he also changed his position at Masterclass. I realized my role was getting too big, and the company would be better served if I handed off some responsibilities, Mr. Williamson said. A little less controlling, I guess. There are now dozens of studies being done on the effect of psychedelics on mental well-being, but some scientists worry about research being done by scholars who seem to be wedded to finding positive results. Confirmation bias. Reporting in the New York Times this year, raised questions about the psychedelic research program at Johns Hopkins University. The director of the program, Roland Griffiths, was accused of overstepping from research into evangelism, including steering subjects to report that the drugs had spiritual effects. Sort of lost his scientific objectivism. There's the word. Can't do that. Got to be careful. Some psychedelic veterans in the business world worry less about the efficacy of the drugs and more about the pressure that business leaders unwittingly put on colleagues. Chip Conley, a former Airbnb executive and a founding board member of Burning Man, stressed that there were many ways for leaders to become more emotionally open without using drugs, and noticed some executives talk about their psychedelics as a signaling mechanism. There's no doubt there's a cultural cachet in some communities that suggests if you're into psychedelics, you're cool and you're open-minded, he said. Anybody who is doing an activity, especially one that is meant to be countercultural for the purpose of building status, is going to have a bad trip. Mr. Connolly said, you'll realize you're a poser. Mr. Rogers played Here Comes the Sun to let the entrepreneurs know that their trips are most likely coming to an end. They slowly stirred from their mattresses and they left the den, curling up on deck chairs outside to discuss what they had seen. They all agreed on one particularly affecting moment of the day, which was tripping while listening to Coldplay's Fix You. Mr. Rogers brought out blank canvases and pastels so they could draw the things that they had seen. The group drew blue and green blobs, yellow streaks, and infinity symbols. My kids will find this in the attic one day and they won't understand, one entrepreneur joked. The group had committed to the psychedelic retreat. At the urging of one of the Adams, the head of a small environmental consulting firm, who proposed it after listening to a Joe Rogan podcast. Adam described how during his trip, he found himself on a spaceship where some of his fellow travelers were farmers, not astronauts. He thought to himself, farmers don't belong in outer space. Afterward, Adam tried to relate this vision to his business. And he realized that high-flying, fast-moving startup environments don't suit every kind of worker. He considered which of his employees should be discouraged from staying on his team for the long haul. Different strokes for different folks. I need to make sure I'm understanding people and that they have different needs and wants and levels of tolerance. AJ, who runs a marketing firm, says when you own a business, you start the day with a 15-line checklist. What's happened to me is a subtle reminder that it's not all a big deal. In the final hours of their retreat, the entrepreneurs sat around a campfire. They remarked how relaxing it had been to be off their phones for just a day. Mr. Rogers told them that he once led a psychedelic retreat for a chief executive who refused to let go of her phone. She was texting while tripping until finally Mr. Rogers persuaded her to hand over the device. She started crying, asking him, "Am I dying?" "That's the wrong question," Mr. Rogers recalled, answering her. The real question is, are you living? So that's a good article. That's a really good article. Um, it's healthy. It's healthy to see people that are focusing. These people could be focusing on how can I make more money this weekend, or they could be focused on how can I eliminate my ego and turn myself into a better servant leader for my people. Right? One final thing, and this is going to sound creepy at first. And when I first heard about it, I'm like, oh, you can't do that. Oh, no. And we keep forgetting that there are different people needing different things from mushroom therapy. And they just are. Some people have a limited amount of time. Some people are in a medical situation where they need attention more quicker. There's going to be different people, different ways, and different needs. And the minute I think that, oh, you can only do it this way, I've limited the opportunity to heal. What am I talking about? There's an article, it's going to only take 1 minute to read, 2 minutes. But you know what they're coming up with now? Don't get frightened. That's it, midlife. IV psilocybin. Psilocybin in the bag, boom, into your arm. Wait a minute, that isn't natural. Remember when taking mushrooms meant clearing your schedule for 8 hours of soul searching? Oh, I don't either, nerdy. I thought so too. But I'm not for me. But there's patients that, let's do it. 8 hours. Clear your schedule so you can get your dose in and have the experience. Well, the pharma company Beckley Psytech has been testing out a more, shall we say, efficient approach. And I want you guys to know this. A lot of these companies, I don't know this one, but the Canadian one I'm working with, they're using natural fruit as their base. I want you to know that. They're not synthesizing out of thin air a bunch of molecules. They're using fruit from farmers to create the medicines that they're delivering in a different system than a dried mushroom in a bag. Okay? So while we immediately, oh, there's bad, it's not as bad as sometimes we think. So we have this biopharma company, Beckley Psytech, an efficient approach. And this one goes straight to the source, your veins. Beckley just put their novel intravenous formulation of psilocybin through a phase 2A clinical trial, and the results look pretty promising for people battling depression. Here's what happened. When patients maintained the magic drug for just 10 minutes, a 10-minute psilocybin drip, instant relief. Depression scores dropped 25 points in the very next day. Total reset. 4 out of 6 patients hit full remission within 24 hours. Quick recovery. Patients were ready to go home in under 2 hours. Not necessarily cleaning. Patients don't equal great. Patients equal patients. You have to have a patient. And it's how you approach it and how you apply yourself to them. The greed guy is the potentially is the provider, not the patient. Anyways, lasting benefits. The effects stayed strong for easily 3 months. Hospital friendly. Treatment time matched existing ketamine protocols. Now, before you get too worked up, this was a very tiny trial with just 6 participants. Okay? But they're moving on to their next phase. And there was no placebo group. So we don't know how much was the drug versus people's expectations. But here's why it still matters. Psychedelic therapy is wildly impractical for many people who could benefit from it today. You need specially trained therapists, dedicated spaces, and basically a full day for each patient. And I can tell you the costs are extremely high for these guided tours. Beckley's treatment could change all of that by fitting it into existing clinic workflows, just like ketamine and Spravato do now. If the goal is integrating psychedelics into our mental health care system, then this approach makes a lot of sense. On the other hand, if you're trying to hypodose your way out of modern civilization, this may not be your approach. I appreciate that. I need to stay open-minded because I don't want to like it. I don't get out of it. Don't do clinical stuff. There's a lot of people that this could help. And I have to stay as open-minded as I possibly can to understand that there are going to be newer and other ways that we're going to be providing therapy. So let's keep our finger on the pulse. Let's keep our eye to the possibilities. Let's keep our ear to the ground. And whatever we do, I don't want to be a greed guy. I want to be a guy that's providing at the bare minimums. It's a good article. So thank you for letting me share that with you guys. We'll be doing some tinctures. I am still waiting for my glycerin. Okay? I'm still waiting for my... and I agree, Kim. I think we should have a lot of different options. There's a lot of different people and a lot of different needs. And I'm not in charge. I'm not in charge, and I'm not the guy that knows the only way. Okay? So I didn't get my glycerin yet. It has. I ordered it, but it didn't come yesterday or today. It might come today. So we haven't been able to make that tincture yet. But we'll make that tincture as soon as the glycerin comes. And then we're still going to talk about how to make a double extract and a triple extract. And then I've been reading up. Sounds icky, but it's probably, again, being open-minded. Mushroom juice. Juice. Just like you have a juice in the morning. Mushroom juice. Now, this isn't necessarily psychedelic. There's been some research being done right now. A mushroom juice made from lion's mane. Mushroom juice made from lion's mane, and it sounds super easy to make, is showing progress with people with Parkinson's. Progress with people with Parkinson's disease. So that is fantastic stuff. Somebody with some mushroom juice, and you have some situations with Parkinson's, a glass of mushroom juice in the morning, and they say that within 6 months they're seeing massive improvements on people. So we'll talk about some of that. Okay? Let's do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway. Hold on. We got to do something. I got so embarrassed about how ugly and dirty my other well-used scale was that I broke out a different one. Okay? So stop making fun of my scale. We're going to take a look at this guy. This biscuit. And we're going to do a scale game. Don't say anything yet because I'm not looking. Okay? I'm not looking. Oh, I still have it, Pace, but I just didn't want to show it this time. So we're going to put this on the scale. And the person that comes closest without going over in grams and tenths of grams, I'm going to send this to them. Okay? So, Wait, wait, wait. Wait. Okay, I got it. Scale game. Go. How much does that weigh? How much does that biscuit weigh? About 250. How much does the biscuit weigh? Some of you are close. How much does that biscuit weigh? Only guess one time and we'll give everybody a chance to guess. How much does that biscuit weigh? What do you think? I've seen one person that's kind of close. Okay, closest without going over. Have a great day, Laura. I'm waiting. Who thinks they know? I think I have to go all the way back to the beginning. Here we go. Hold on. Okay. I'm about to call it. I'm about to call it. Okay, I think I'm going to call it. The answer, the closest I saw, was Brian C. Brian C said 5.7, and it's actually 6. Brian C was the closest I saw with a 5.7. Bri, I need your address. 5.7. You guys all 6.0. You guys all underestimated it. Okay? There's a couple of overestimators, but a whole bunch of underestimators. Brian, I need your address at the Detroit Mush Lab. Bud had a 5.72. I missed that. I didn't see it. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Brian. Okay? Brian with the 5.7. So, we'll go there. Anyways, should we do that again with a different biscuit? Should we do that again with a different biscuit? Okay. Should we do that again with a different biscuit? Let's try one more biscuit. So that one that's floating around there, go ahead and give me a number. Go ahead and give me a number on this biscuit. What do you think it is? There's a biscuit. How much do you think that biscuit weighs? Okay, closest without going over. All right, I'm looking now. I'm checking a list. I'm checking it twice. I can see who's naughty and who's nice. I'm checking. Closest without going over. Answer one time. You guys can bet it's probably a little bit more than the last one, right? Wait a minute. Okay. I've got somebody that's pretty close. Somebody else that said the same one, but they were second. So I think I'm going to go ahead and kill it. With this. I think we're just about done. We're just about done on that. We're going to go Katie and Cole. It's actually 8.4, and Katie said an 8.0. Katie said 8.0. Later, Married Michael did too, but Katie said it first. 8 jeebers. Okay? Whoa! How's one fella over a quarter of an ounce? Right? Big fella. So, Katie, I need your address. Exception and Hags and Brian and Katie. Get me addresses. And then sat on Thursday, we'll do some more giveaways this week. Okay? Thursday. By the way, I've received a bunch of boxes in the mail in the last 3 or 4 days. I put them all underneath my Christmas tree, which isn't really a tree. And I'm going to open them tomorrow. So I have a really fun, I'm going to have Christmas because of you guys tomorrow. So thank you so much for all of that. And then I'll show you guys on Thursday and Friday some of the fun stuff that I haven't seen it yet. I haven't opened my boxes. But I'm gonna have an amazing Christmas because of you guys. I'll send you a picture on my Pops. I'm the most lucky, blessed, fulfilled person. It's beyond belief. We plant seeds and the boxes just grow out of it. So it's going to be really fun. I'm going to have fun tomorrow, just sitting around, because I don't have plans on going anywhere. It's cold and snowy out, and most of my friends are up north, or here. So no show tomorrow, but we'll be back on Thursday. Okay, but boy, I don't even want to get started right now because I could start like crying real tears of like, just watch. Let me see here. So an example, and hold on. I've received some more since. Wait. Those are just some of the boxes you kids have been sending Pops. Merry Christmas. And I did that a couple of days ago. So, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll get those. I'll share what we've opened up this Thursday and Friday. Okay. See, I told you I didn't want to cry. Darn it. But I don't have an ego about that anymore. I'm going to do a final reading for today. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Boy, we're doing some good work here, everybody. I mean it. Individually and as a group, we're doing some good work. We should all be incredibly proud of ourselves. I mean, we could be up to no good, but we're not. We're trying to figure it out. Nobody's doing it perfect. Boy, are we trying. We're doing a good job. You guys are doing a good job out there. Just being here. And I know when we hang up in the, 10, 15 every day, you got a purpose. You're going to be a better person that day. The Japanese master Basho said, we shouldn't abuse God's creatures. You must reverse the haiku. Not a dragonfly removes its wings, pepper tree, but a pepper tree adds wings to it, dragonfly. The destruction or healing of the world hinges on which way things and thoughts unfold. Whether we pull things apart or we put them together makes a difference. Indeed, Basho's small instruction reveals to us how human history has unfolded, with one pilgrim taking things apart and another putting them back together, and so on and so on. Here's a neat example. As an example, let's look at two very different explorers who both shaped the world as we know it. I'm reading these comments, you guys. I'm bawling over here. Two explorers. We know them both. We have a Christopher Columbus and we have a Carl Jung. Christopher Columbus didn't adventure around the globe because he just was so involved and he just was such a natural man and he just wanted to know more about nature and about wind and currents and how to sail. That was not it. He was a profiteer. The whole thing was done for money. Go find a pile of gold. We don't care what it takes. Bring back gold. Now you think about it. I was watching a program recently on the island of Hispaniola, where he landed originally. When they first landed there in 1400, late 1490s, over 600,000 natives lived on that island. Over 600,000 people. In less than 20 years, there was less than 30,000 indigenous people left on the island. Because he was adventuring. Killed 500,000 more people through disease. Mostly through disease. And so what they do, we need people to still work the gold mines and then later on the sugar plantations. So here's what we're going to do. We'll go on over to Africa and we'll enslave those guys and bring them over here to these islands to work. And you talk about the destruction that came from seeking gold. It incenses me. And we don't think about it. What are we seeking? What are you seeking? For the first 60 years of my life, I was seeking gold. My gold. To be able to successfully retire on a pile of gold. I'm practically Christopher Columbus in my youth. Counting people as if I have 1,500 now. Like the people's heads mattered more than their faces behind the faces. When I started doing this reading, I remembered how disgusting humans are that set up whatever they're doing for the purpose of making money. It will always lead to destruction, period. We have no examples in history where we'll deliberately set out to seek profit and we didn't destroy in the process. Profit is supposed to be a side result. That it's supposed to be a fruit, not the goal. We've lost sight of that. And it gets really harder at this time of year. Some of us are looking at ourselves, I didn't get somebody a present as big as they got me. Your ego sucks if that's where you're at. Nobody cares on December 26th. What I care about is what did you do? How did you serve? We balance ourselves and we check ourselves. Well, I didn't do it. They're going to think that I don't want anything from somebody that's thinking that way. Keep it. Christopher Columbus and Carl Jung. While Columbus crossed the ocean with an intent of breaking things down and retrieving whatever treasures he could, Jung crossed an interior ocean with the intent of putting things together. Whatever treasures we might have inside us, we already had. We must ask, what made one explorer set foot on a continent he'd never seen and exclaim, "This is mine"? And what made the other bow to his humility? Perhaps the difference is that Columbus is searching outwardly with a predetermined sense of conquest, and Carl Jung was searching inwardly with an undetermined sense of love. Both were clearly devoted to their search, but where Columbus was intent to separate and to own, Jung was intent to unify and belong. Kay Rennett's, I believe you gave me this book, The Book of Awakening, Mark Nepo. I believe you gave it to me. We must be watchful, for we suffer both the impulse to separate and own and the impulse to unify and belong. As our eyes shut and open repeatedly, we as builders take things apart and we put them together repeatedly. Yet as wakefulness depends on keeping our eyes open, healing often depends on keeping things joined. This is my final word before Christmas. In love, in friendship, in seeking to learn and grow. Boy, this sounds like a tea crew to me. In love, in friendship, in seeking to learn and grow. That's what we do here. In trying to understand ourselves. That's what we do here. How often we do, like Kikadu said, how often do we remove the wings of things before it has a chance to free us? When we're aware, we don't have to remove the wings. No more removing the wings. I missed what we were saying there to Mark, but I just, I'm an absolute blessed man on the planet Earth. Let's keep planting. Let's keep growing. Let's keep learning together. Let's keep sending Pop Christmas presents. No, I'm kidding. I have more friends, more gifts under my tree than I've ever had in my entire life. I feel like that CEO that we read about. Man, all of that other crap doesn't matter. Nothing really matters except how well we can serve one another. Okay, Mark Z, if there's something I can do to help you, you reach out to me and let me know. Okay. In exception, happy birthday. Send me your address. We'll get that out to you with another little something in there. Happy birthday and Merry Christmas. And go enjoy your family. Enjoy a great meal. Be the servant tomorrow. Be a servant. Be the guy be the gal. Be the person that everyone's going, oh, man, big difference between this person, the way they are this year and the way I remember them. Okay? Let's just be lights. Be servants. Kindness and humility. Seek to join, not to take. Not to tear asunder. I don't know what else to say this morning, except thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very, very much. And I will see you guys here Thursday with all kinds of fun stuff to show you, and we got to keep loving and learning. Okay? Shine like Rudolph's nose. I like that, Kim. And I still think funniest line of the day is the space bomb. Okay? Go have a beautiful day tomorrow. Reach out to me if anybody needs anything. You let me know. I got you. Okay. Brian C. and Exception and Satter Wolf and Classic Blaster. Thank you. And Evil Joe, evil though you were saying some really nice stuff. Thank you. Kimberly, you're not evil at all, Joe. You're going to have to get evil out of there pretty soon. Nipper and Paige and Pacey's and Danny Singleton and Billy D. And Jesus Christ in Australia. I'm so glad you're here. Mike Barball and Satter in Vegas. Exception. Vegas, have an exceptional weekend and day tomorrow. And I'm going to be making you a little pop snack. Classic Blaster. Jolie, good morning. Derek Anderson and Michael Shanti Patterson and Evil and Cleany. Good morning, Cleans. And Sue Littlemeyer and Solly Maldo and Hags. There's my Hags. Snap. Gotcha, Hags. Kieran, I love you, girl. RX, thanks for being here. And, oh, that book, right? Kieran, we've been reading out of that book for a year now. Trent, Married Michael, Midlife Michael, what other kind of Michael? Michael, Pacer Michael, Salmaldo, Buddy, Bud, you were this close, I'm sorry, we'll get you next time. Jesus Christ, Brett Williams, Mr. Phillips, Anthony T, the Wazee, JW Owen, Brett Williams, Pop, Mark Z, King, Evil, Jesus Christ, and Nippy, Croaks, there he is, Midlife, Laura Devine, I'm glad you're back, Saska Mojo, Nerdy and Lil Roy, and Mark Barabal and Vegs, and Antas, and Jesus Christ, and Exception, happy birthday, and Shamsuri, and Calico Kid, hi Cal, Herbs, and Jimmy Max all the way, Billy T, MVP, it's gonna be a good Christmas, y'all, Sid, 5280, Nippy, Keyren, it is. It's absolutely perfect. Paige, Married, Vegas, Midlife, Jesus, Marky, Pops. Oh, okay, Veg, give me your new address, dear. Give me your new address because I would have sent it to the old one. Pops, peace, be the light in your life. See you guys. Merry Christmas.